why, as a therapist, I think the idea of choose happy is only going to make you more burnt out and more anxious. Welcome back to another episode of the 4Q podcast. My name is Sheena Shui. I'm a burnout therapist and business mentor where I specialize in teaching you how to escape the 9 to 5 and really use the skills, knowledge, story, and experiences that you have and turn it into a business and beyond that, a lifestyle that really aligns with who you are. So that way you're not anxious and burnt out anymore. You get to have business without burnout. Now, today I want to talk about choose happy. So whether you have a business or not, this personal development podcast is going to be really good for you because I see artwork saying choose happy. I see t-shirts saying choose happy. You know, inspirational quotes on social media, just choose happy. And I actually want to call this out and call it out as a little bit of toxic positivity, but I think it's just an ignorance here because a lot of people are getting into the psychological space, the life coaching space with no qualification and no degrees. Now, don't get me wrong. I've spoken on this before where I absolutely think that there are life coaches and mentors and things like that who are incredible, but there's a lot of dodgy ones too. And don't get me wrong. I'm going to say things now, nowadays that I'm sure in years to come I'll go, oh, actually, that probably wasn't the right thing to say, or I could have said it in a more nuanced way. But they make the mistake of saying choose happy. And the reason that that's going to make you more anxious and burnt out is because every time you don't feel a extremely positive emotion. So if you're not overwhelmed with joy, overwhelmed with love, if you feel the slightest bit anxious, if you start to feel sad, if you start to feel anger, you're going to try and bypass that and choose happy. Now, why is that a problem? Well, first of all, we can't choose our emotions. And thinking that we can is just trying to make us bypass the emotion. I want you to always remember, and if you get one thing out of this podcast, moving forward in your life, that you can take with you. Our emotions are our guidance system. It's worth repeating again. Our emotions are our guidance system. If we feel anxious, that means that our environment, our lifestyle, and our internal thoughts are making us feel anxious. If it's the same for anger, sadness, it is letting you know that something is not okay. Because a lot of people go, I felt angry about it and I'm not an angry person. I'll hear that sometimes in my one-on-one sessions with people. They'll go, I'm not an angry person, but I felt really angry about this situation. Good. You are meant to feel anger. The reason that we have feelings like anger is to let us know that, hey, we're not going to be pushed over. It's not okay. We have passion about this. We've obviously been ignoring something. It's important to us. It shows us that whatever the thing we're angry about is important to us. If it wasn't, we wouldn't feel anything about it. Same with sadness. Yeah, so sadness also tells us when things are important to us. It also shows us what's important to us. It also shows us what we actually are dreaming of, we actually want to accomplish. Because again, if somebody walks out of your life and you're not angry, you're not sad about it, that shows you something. If something happens and you're both happy and sad about it, that's also showing you something. So you might leave a job and be completely happy, like I'm finally leaving, but you're sad because you're going to miss all your co-workers. Now, again, what does that tell us? It tells us that you love working in a team. You love working with amazing people. Those people mattered to you. So it's important to recognize, okay, I want to try either maintain those relationships with some of my work colleagues, or if I do go out and start a new job or have a new business, that I really like working in a team and I like being connected to people. Okay, it tells us stuff about ourselves. We learn from it, we grow from it. But you've got to remember that emotions are just the chemical reaction to what's going on in your life and in your thoughts. So when you feel angry, that's a reaction to your external and internal world. When you feel sad, when you feel happy, all of it. So you can't just choose happy. And I want to go a bit further on this. So even spiritual leaders, for those who are a bit wooey, a little bit out there, you love the law of attraction, law of assumption like myself, even spiritual leaders such as Abraham Hicks have an emotional scale, and they say that we gradually need to move through emotion. So even really big leaders like that who've been in the personal development sphere for decades on decades on decades, and they're tapping, if you fully believe it, into the infinite intelligence. Even they say you don't go from overwhelmment and anger and grief or depression, like some of those lower vibration emotions. You can't just jump from that to joy. They kind of say you have to move through things. So, you know, you might feel depressed, then you might feel angry, then you might feel overwhelmed, then you might feel bored, then you might feel optimistic, then you might feel okay, then you might feel happy. You don't just jump from one really negative emotion to the next by choosing to do so. Again, as they say, they just reach for something that's a little bit in the right direction. So if you're having a crummy day, reach for something that make you feel a little bit better. Watch your favorite movie. Go to your favorite place, eat your favorite food, see your favorite person, vent it out. I think sometimes people think venting or talking about it is going to make it more real, but it helps you process the emotion. Even tears help you process the emotion. And I think we really need to remember, not every single moment of every single day is meant to feel good, is meant to feel joyful, right? We're sort of meant to maintain a neutral state and have moments of feeling amazing and moments of feeling joyful and moments of feeling love and excitement. And we're also meant to have the contrast of anger, of sadness, of grief, of depression, of anxiety, because that tells us what's not working, so we can lean more in the direction of love and joy. When we know what doesn't work, then we know what does work. If you want to go deeper on this, the human experience, right? If you just had all good things happen to you all of the time, you wouldn't appreciate it. It's only when you have a contrasting experience do you really appreciate it. So someone who owns their own house and has their own apartment, their own furniture, their own car, but they came from a place where they remember they had $0 in their bank account and they were stressing over money, they're going to appreciate that life, that all of that so much more than someone who's never had to financially struggle, because they're just going to assume that that's part of the journey. They actually might not enjoy having the apartment because they go, I want more than this. I want this, I want this, I want this, because they're not grateful for where they're at and what they have, because they've not yet experienced the contrast. So two people could have the exact same apartment, exact same life, exact same lifestyle, exact same partner, exact same furniture, car, etc. And one feels infinitely more, significantly better than the other because of the level of gratefulness and expectation and level of contrast they've experienced in their life. Okay, so we've covered you can't just choose happy because emotions serve us, and our emotions are literally just chemical reactions to our thoughts and to our external experiences, right? again, second point I covered, even spiritual leaders tell us we have to move through different emotions, not jump from one to the next, right? And the thing is, again, our beliefs inform our thoughts, and our thoughts inform our emotions and our actions. So therefore, we must change our beliefs. Now, what do I mean about beliefs? Beliefs are beliefs about yourself, beliefs about your partner, beliefs about your friends, beliefs about how people treat you, beliefs about how the world works, beliefs about if good things are coming to you, beliefs about if the world is a safe and wonderful place, or if it's a negative and scary place. All of those beliefs are going to drastically change the way you think. All of those beliefs are going to drastically change the way you feel. And so we need to be conscious of our beliefs. And that's some of the work that I do with you when I work with you as a therapist, as your mentor, is getting you to understand what unconscious beliefs you might have. Again, we talk about negative core beliefs, and if you're interested in that episode, just go back and search negative core beliefs and it'll pop up. Really, really good. But basically, we all have core beliefs that are formed in our childhood and adolescent years through our experiences, right? We have beliefs formed about ourselves. Are we intelligent or not? Are we good looking or not? Are we good at sport? Are we not? Are people friendly? Are they not? Am I likable? Am I not? Am I lovable? Am I not? Am I only lovable in X circumstance? Am I only lovable in Y circumstance? So a more tangible example of that is a child who's grown up always being told, you're so intelligent, you pick up things so fast, you're so good. They get experiences of getting, A's on their exams, they do really well, they get academic awards. That child is never going to feel insecure about asking questions or presenting in front of other people, or, telling people they don't understand as an adult, because they inherently feel like they're intelligent. They don't question it. It's not something that's wobbly in their vibration or in their self-concept and their belief, okay? Because it's something that they've always generally been good at. I find people who are insecure about their intelligence are the ones that make it worse for themselves sometimes, because they don't say, hey, I don't understand this. Could you explain this in another way? Because they're already worried that the question itself makes them seem unintelligent. Oh, I should have picked this up straight away. Whereas someone who doesn't have any stuff about intelligence will go, like, they're not worried about how they're being perceived from an intelligence lens. They might have another core belief. So, for example, a person might not be insecure about intelligence because growing up, not a big deal, always did well in school, but maybe they've got stuff around their looks and appearance. Maybe people commented on their weight or how they looked growing up. Maybe people treated them differently when they looked a certain way. Maybe all of a sudden they got attention when they, got boobs or grew their hair long or got skinny or whatever. And so now they inherently feel, I'm only attractive when I'm skinny. I'm only attractive when I have long hair. I'm only attractive when X. I'm only lovable when I look a certain way. So that person will have their own self-concept and beliefs about things. Now, why is this important? I'm just giving you examples of how beliefs form. Same with, again, are people safe or not? If you've experienced bullying growing up, experiences of abuse, experiences of lying in your family, experiences of manipulation in your family, experiences of people backstabbing each other in their family, divorce, any of those things, your trust in other people goes down, even if you're not conscious of it. And so it makes it hard as an adult to go, do people have it out for me? Or you have this fear-based belief system, and that is going to inform your thoughts, and your thoughts affect how you feel. So for example, you may not even realize this, but maybe you just feel like people only have their best interest at heart. They don't really care about me. They're never going to care about me. Whenever you go into situations, you're kind of always going to feel like people are out for themselves and you need to protect yourself, which means that you're almost going to have a level of defensiveness, a wall. You're not going to fully let people in because you feel like they're always out for them. They don't genuinely care for you. And again, a lot of the time we go around with these beliefs unconsciously. We don't know that they're there until we talk to a therapist. We talk to someone like myself, a mentor, and I hold the mirror to you. If there's constant things that keep coming up, I'm going to hold that mirror to you and go, there's a pattern here. And I'm going to go a bit deeper with you. And I can tell you, once you shift the core belief, like you can think whatever the fuck you want to think all day, every day. But until you shift that belief, the thoughts are going to only ever creep back to what they were, which means your feelings are going to creep back to what they were and that kind of thing. So thinking I can just choose my way to happy, I can just think my way to happy is going to make you more anxious and burnt out because it's never going to really be true. It's never going to really be aligned with your core belief. Yeah. So again, this is why I'm a bit about the choose happy thing, because if you fight against negative emotion, if you fight against your core beliefs, you're always going to feel like you're having this internal battle and you're like, I don't know, I'm doing all the strategies, I'm doing all the things. Why isn't it coming together? That's why. And I want to remind you all that yes, you can sort of find out about this through journaling or spiritual experiences, plant-based medicine experiences. Don't get me wrong, I think you can get there. But 99% of the time, you are going to need to find this out through another person. You will find this out through your business relationships, your career relationships, your friendships, your intimate relationship, working with the therapist. Everyone is a mirror to who you are and your beliefs about yourself. The experiences that happen, the actions that happen, the things that happen in your relationships, all reflection of how you feel about yourself and your core beliefs. So this is why working with the therapist is so powerful, because getting there on your own is very difficult. Even if you realize, hey, something's up here, it's hard to see the forest from the trees. Like even as a business mentor myself, I could help 1,000 different people see gaps and things with their businesses and grow their businesses and thrive in their businesses. But I still have a mentor myself because it is so hard to do it for yourself. It really is, because you can't see the shadows the way that other people can, or your flaws. So, and again, just my final point is that remembering these thoughts and beliefs can make conscious, just like noticing your breathing. So again, the analogy of, even though this is unconscious to you, your breathing, you don't notice your breathing 24 hours a day. If I get you to notice your breathing now, is it fast or slow? Are you breathing into your stomach, to your lungs? You can notice it. If I said breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth, you can control it. So you can notice it, you can control it, but 99% of the time it's unconscious to you. Same with your thoughts and beliefs. Until you make them conscious, they're going to live your life. And Carl Jung has a really good quote about your beliefs you'll call it fate until you bring the unconscious conscious. Very cool quote if you're picking up what I'm putting down. So I hope that this pulled something from you today, and realizing that if things aren't coming together for you right now, if there's an area of your life where you just go, I just need to think better about this, I just need to choose happy, like stop it. You're doing the best you can with the tools you have. And first, acknowledge the emotion, move through the emotion, and then on the other side of that, you can choose better thoughts, work through the beliefs, and eventually you'll just be happy. You won't have to choose happy. Our emotions let me say that again. Our emotions are our emotional guidance system, our GPS, our North Star. They give us directions on what is working and what isn't. This is why we were all born with the spectrum of emotions. So stop running away from the ones that don't feel good and ask yourself, what can I learn from this emotion? What is it trying to tell me? Grow from it. All right, I love you, beautiful soul. If you want to go a little bit deeper, come join me on Instagram. You know where I'm at. Join one of my programs or book a free call. Let's see how we can use your skills and your knowledge to grow a business so that you can be aligned with who you are. Or better yet, you can join our Tranquil Trailblazers membership. That's a place where you'll have all the personal development and everything you want. Even if you're not starting a business, you will grow as a person from that. And there's nowhere else on the planet you can work with a therapist for $99. So go check that out right now before I end up closing that membership. All right. Have a wonderful day, beautiful soul. You deserve it. And I will see you in the next episode of the 4Q podcast.